they saw in me what rowing had meant to them. And so I came away with, as though I really had earned the right to be there. Tonight, incidentally, all the time we were there was no mention of the superstorm that had wrecked so much of that part of the East Coast. Kind of like a New York minute, you know. So what's today? But, and we saw no evidence of it, other than a few branches off of trees. It was an interesting insight into the East Coast mind. We were well up. We were right on the south end of Central Park, so we were way up, away from any damage. But we saw a lot of it on the TV, of course. What I'm going to try to do tonight is to read the same paragraphs from that book in honor of Elizabeth, our granddaughter,
Do you know
who
what page it is?
who will carry on the torch of rowing for the Pocock and Graves family. And she'll make her way somewhere, I know that. I might add that I know that because she listens to me. And that's always wonderful for a coach to feel like that. So I'm going to try and open this thing up way back to the real end, way back. It's only about 10 pages from the finish. And I'm sure people have, I know McCagg mentioned, more yet.
More?
When I say the end, I mean the end.
Well, I don't know where the end is. You should have marked it. Where is it?
Well, I did, but this isn't the same book.
Do you know? Lynn will know where it is.
Well, yeah, she's the one that
See, she
brought
knows
it
where
up.
is. But
There's-
you didn't,
Maybe I should make her read it,
I don't know.
huh?
Read it.
Now, I know that I'm going to be, should I
So-
read all the way, all
Yeah.
that? Okay,
So
okay.
I'll-
Here.
I'll start it, and then you can start. And it was where somebody asked him why he rows, and having
Here you go.
two daughters that row.
Get your
And
nose right up in there.
I'll start it out as one day my older daughter came back from one regatta and had to go to one the next morning, and my mother had asked her, Sarah, why is it that you love to row? And Sarah sat and thought, and I could see in her face, well, I had to get up really early. It was really cold. It was really dark. It really hurt, and I'm not really sure. And had that look on her face, but she said, you know, Grandma, for some reason, it just gets in you. It just gets in your blood. And I could see the look of exhaustion as she balanced, classes the next day and having to look at getting up early the next morning. And Papa, as we call him, said, I know. And he said, wait. And he went into the other room and he pulled out this book. And he sat down and very slowly started to tell us why it is, and something that Sarah at the age of 16 could not really describe, but was feeling. And that with all the energy that goes into it, that it gets in your system. So it started out where Papa, it was asked by somebody, I'll tell you where to start, just a sec. Right here. I experienced one of the most moving moments in my life. So you can start here, Papa.
All right. I'll do it. And, okay.
Right here.
I don't know who's shaking more, you or me.
Right here.
I experienced one of the most moving moments of my life. It was during my senior year. I was turning out with the varsity squad at the university. Late in the autumn, dark, cold, quiet, not a breath of air to disturb us. We were returning from a long row down the lake. Al's launch was off somewhere with the other boats, and we were alone in the world. As we skirted the shore to head toward the shell house, I saw looming behind us a full moon, awesome in its majesty, rising above the Cascades. I'm sure the others in the crew saw it, though not a word was spoken. Our boat was going as it had never gone before, steady as a rock, not a sound to be heard, save the gurgle of the water under the keel and the mighty swirl of the puddles. Unspoken ecstasy, living presence within the shell. The harder I drove my oar, the greater was the joy of it. Could it possibly happen for just one more stroke? Yes, and yes, and yet again, yes. Too soon we reached the float and crept out to put our oars away and carry the boat into the shell house. There was not a word other than that of the coxswain's hoarse commands. In the shower, no boisterous horseplay, no bitching about the coach. Dressed, I quickly left for the long walk up to the fraternity house, alone with my thoughts. I knew that I had just experienced something that might never happen again. I had lost myself, and in the process had truly found myself. I had had a fleeting glimpse of the divine. In George Pocock's word, view of views, which is your soul. And that's the way I wanted it. And it is dedicated to Elizabeth. And I hope she will be heard from, I'll tell you. So I'm not going to read any of the rest of that. I don't want to talk anything more. What I will just wind up with is that, and I did tear up a little bit. Doggone it. I didn't have room in these pants for a napkin or handkerchief. But anyway, I'm going to be sitting here eating my dinner now and having my drink. I don't do any of that before I talk because I'm liable to cry. But so here I am. So I hope you all enjoy this thing, and I cannot repeat how honored I am that you all came to share with me this badge of a lifetime spent in the world of rowing. Thank you.